friends, I welcome you in my channel Planetsatplay. I have discussed with you in my earlier videos about first 11 houses. Today I'll be discussing about the 12th house. It is a mutable or a cadent house. It resonates with Pisces sign, which is ruled by Jupiter and Neptune. The meaning and understanding of 12th house is a bit difficult. It is the house of karma, previous life, and punarjanam. First house is our identity, whereas 12th house is a loss of identity. In first house, we separate ourselves and stand alone. But in 12th house, we dissolve ourselves, disintegrate, and wants to merge with Supreme. In 12th house, we consider ourselves on collective level, and we come to know that we all are part of a system. Mystics and scientists believe that we influence each other and we all are interconnected. That's why we come to know about each other's intention through intuition. So intuition and realization are signified by 12th house. If a person has strong emphasis of 12th house, then he easily gets influenced by his surroundings. They find difficulty to create boundaries and try to be like omnipotent or omnipresence, means behaving like God, that they are born to heal everyone or to resolve everyone's issue. So healers, religious guru comes under 12th house. When people act like a god, then they become fraud. And so fraudster and cheaters gets covered in the 12th house. So it is the house of saint as well as con masters. When people fail to fulfill their wishes or achieve socially, then they get disappointed and they become suicidal or try to immerse themselves in alcohol, drugs, or various kinds of addiction and want to live in the state of ecstasy or lose their ego. So alcohol, drug addicts, any kind of addict, suicidal tendencies, they also comes under the arena of 12th house. Some people make an effort to understand and merge with divine power through meditation, prayer, and devotion to Supreme. So meditation, devotion, and prayer are symbolized by 12th house. Devotion and meditation helps to develop universal brotherhood and compassion for others. We try to become a savior, martyr, helper, or rescuer for others. So forgiveness, let go, sacrifices, physical pleasure, all these things, they get covered in the 12th house. The 12th house is behind the first house. So people who have many planets in the 12th house spend their time behind the scene. You know, when you see a movie, you recognize only the main artist, but the movie is made up of 100 of other unknown artists, such as supporting artists, cameraman, scriptwriter, editor, costume designer. So they all are the part of 12th house. The activities in this house are secret and hidden from public view. A person having many planets in the 12th house will withdraw or escape from the real world and wants to enjoy the dreams, imagination, scientific research, exploration, and innovation. All these also get covered in the 12th house. 11th house signifies fulfillment of dreams. And when people achieve everything, then they also again start thinking. They start losing interest in everything. Till the time they don't achieve, they want it, you know. But the moment you achieve everything, then you again become lost, and then you start behaving like a saint because you lost interest in everything. And 12th house is exactly opposite the 6th house, where 6th house is career, where we get paid for our services, and whereas 12th house is also services, but here we provide services for free or do charity. So the charity work and charitable organization comes under the 12th house. 12th house, the jail, hospital, orphanage, all these comes under 12th house, as people get separated here from their family and friends. The wasteful expenditure and losses comes under 12th house, as our loss is others gain, or it is like losing identity to supreme, Bhagwan ne kiya. The house shows our secret and hidden enemies also. If a person has sun in the 12th house, then he may incur losses due to government or may suffer from health issues. The person may work behind the stage. If a person has moon in his 12th house, then he may hide his emotion or may have nurturing attitude towards underprivileged. If a person has Mercury in his 12th house, then he can be a story writer or can spend time in research work, or he can be a content writer or ghost writer. He can become a voice of underprivileged. And he may, if a person has Mars in his 12th house, then he may hide his anger or may use his energy to fight for weaker section. And if a person has Venus in his 12th house, then he may have difficulty in understanding boundaries in relationship or may hide his relationship. If a person has Jupiter in his 12th house, then they may have difficulty in expressing their optimism, faith, generosity, or they may lack optimism. And he may be a gambler who may be always pushing his limit. If a person has Saturn in his 12th house, then he may have a tendency to feel responsible for others' suffering. If a person has Uranus in his 12th house, then he can keep his unconventional and radical views hidden. If a person has Neptune in his 12th house, then he may have compassionate attitude towards victims or can have escapist tendencies. If a person has Pluto in his 12th house, then he may have obsession to understand his dreams or intuition. The person can have good knowledge of psychology. If a person has Rahu in his 12th house, then he can have materialistic tendencies or easygoing attitude. He may have immoral tendencies to achieve his desires or dreams. If a person has Ketu in his 12th house, then he can have a spiritual nature and may have good control on worldly pleasure. In Vedic astrology, it is called Atrikisthan and considered to be a house of settling abroad, moksha, secret or hidden enemies, immoral activities, addiction, physical pleasure, suicide, jail, hospital, wasteful expenditure. And it is ruled by Guru and its Karak is Rahu. So this is the end of the houses. This is the 12th house is the last house. And from next week, then I'll raise another topic, or you can message me. I can make videos on those topics. Thank you.